What was that?
It came from outside.
Get back. I'll check.
Be careful.
The phone call came at 2:47 a.m. Young-woo's hand shook so badly he almost dropped it. When he finally answered, his face went white. Tamara saw it from across the penthouse, where she'd been nursing Hana. She knew that look. That was the look of a man whose past had just caught up with him. "My father," Young-woo whispered, staring at his phone like it was a weapon. "He's alive. 5 months. That's how long they'd had. 5 months of pretending they could build something normal from the wreckage of that night. 5 months of Young-woo cooking breakfast while Tamara fed twins. 5 months of stolen glances and careful touches, and both of them pretending the 6-month deadline wasn't racing toward them like a bullet. 5 months of peace. It ended the moment Kim Jae-won stepped off the plane in Seoul. Tamara's blood ran cold watching Young-woo's face cycle through shock, disbelief, and something that looked like terror. "What do you mean he's alive? You buried him. I saw the photos from the funeral." Young-woo couldn't speak, just held the phone, listening to whoever was on the other end confirm the impossible. His father, dead for 7 years, had faked his own death, had been hiding, building power in the shadows, and now he was back. The next hour became a nightmare of phone calls and security checks. Young-woo paced the penthouse like a caged animal while Tamara held both twins, her mind racing through implications she didn't want to face. A man powerful enough to fake his death for 7 years wouldn't hesitate to destroy anyone in his path. And right now, Tamara and her babies were directly in that path. "Why now?" Tamara finally asked when Young-woo ended his 10th call. "Why come back after all this time?" Young-woo looked at the twins sleeping peacefully in Tamara's arms. "Because he knows about them. Someone told him about his grandchildren." "How is that possible?" "We've been careful. No social media, no public appearances. My father has eyes everywhere." Young-woo's jaw clenched. "He probably knew the moment you got pregnant. Has been watching, waiting for the right time to make his move. What does he want? Everything." Young-woo sat heavily, exhaustion and fear etched on his face. "The business I've been running, control of the family empire, and knowing him, he'll want the twins too. Heirs to continue the Kim legacy. Over my dead body. That can be arranged." Young-woo's voice was hollow. "You don't know what he's capable of. My father doesn't negotiate. He doesn't compromise. He takes what he wants and destroys anyone who stands in his way." Tamara's arms tightened around the twins. "Then we run. Tonight. Take the babies and disappear. There's nowhere he can't find us. Then we fight." "With what?" Young-woo looked at her with eyes that had seen too much. "He has money, power, connections that span decades. I gave up the criminal empire trying to go legitimate. I have nothing he can't take. You have us." Tamara's voice strengthened. "And I didn't survive everything I survived just to hand my children over to some ghost from your past." Before Young-woo could respond, the penthouse intercom buzzed. The doorman's voice came through, nervous and apologetic. "Mr. Kim, there's a gentleman here to see you. Says he's your father. Should I send him up?" Young-woo and Tamara locked eyes. The moment of truth had arrived faster than either expected. "Send him up," Young-woo said quietly. Then he looked at Tamara. "Take the twins to the nursery. Lock the door, and don't come out no matter what you hear. I'm not hiding. Please." Young-woo's voice cracked. "If he sees weakness, he'll exploit it. The twins are our weakness. Keep them safe." Tamara wanted to argue, but the fear in Young-woo's eyes stopped her. She'd never seen him afraid before. Not during the attack by his uncle. Not during the custody negotiations. Not even when she'd told him about the second pregnancy. Whatever his father was, it was worse than anything they'd faced so far. She carried the twins to the nursery and locked the door like he asked. But she didn't stay there. She put the babies in their cribs, turned on the monitor, and crept back to where she could hear everything through the partially open bedroom door. The elevator chimed. Footsteps crossed the marble foyer. And then a voice, Tamara had never heard, but somehow recognized. Cold, controlled, absolutely certain of its own power. Hello, son. It's been a long time. Tamara peered through the crack in the door. Kim Jae-won was 65, but looked 10 years younger. Expensive suit tailored perfectly. Silver hair slicked back. Posture that screamed military training and absolute authority. He walked into Young-woo's home like he owned it. Like he owned everything and everyone in it. You should be dead, Young-woo said, voice flat. And you should be grateful I'm not. Jae-won moved through the penthouse, touching expensive furniture, examining art on walls, assessing everything. Nice place. Your mother's insurance money bought it, I assume. Don't talk about her. Why not? She was my wife, bore my children, played her role adequately until cancer made her useless. Young-woo's fist clenched, but he didn't move. What do you want? Jae-won smiled without warmth. Straight to business. Good. You inherited some of my efficiency at least, even if your mother ruined everything else. I want what's mine. The empire I built, the power I accumulated, the legacy I'm owed. You gave all that up when you faked your death. I gave up nothing. I went underground to consolidate power, eliminate enemies, build something bigger. And now I'm back to claim it. Starting with the family business you've been playing house with. I've restructured everything, made it legitimate. You can't just walk back in and take it, can I? Jae-won pulled out a folder from his briefcase, dropped it on the coffee table. Legal documents, proof of identity, corporate bylaws that apparently superseded everything Young-woo had put in place. I never officially died, legally speaking. Just disappeared. Which means I still own 70% of Kim Industries. You've just been a caretaker, and your services are no longer needed. Young-woo picked up the documents, face going white as he read. This isn't legal. I had you declared dead. The courts recognized it. Courts can be bought. Jae-won's smile widened. You should know that better than anyone, especially given your recent activities. What activities? Jae-won's eyes glittered. Where are they? The bastard children. My grandchildren. I want to see what kind of half-breeds my son has created. Tamara's blood turned to ice. From the nursery, she heard Hana begin to fuss. The baby monitor crackled to life, and Jae-won's head turned toward the sound like a predator sensing prey. Stay away from them, Young-woo said, voice deadly quiet. Or what? You'll hit me? Please. Jae-won walked toward the nursery. Young-woo moved to block him, but Jae-won's hand came up holding a small device. A phone. With a video queued up. 1. Click, and this footage goes to prosecutors, police, and every media outlet in Korea. You'll be arrested within the hour for what you did to that woman. And I'll have full custody of those children by sunset. Tamara's stomach dropped. She knew what video that was. The same footage Minji had used for blackmail. Somehow Jae-won had gotten his hands on it too. You wouldn't, Young-woo said, but his voice had lost its certainty. I would. I will. Unless you sign everything back to me and stay out of my way. Jae-won lowered the phone. Now, where are my grandchildren? That's when Tamara made her decision. She stepped out of the bedroom, shoulders back, chin up, every inch the lioness protecting her cubs. She walked straight to where both men stood frozen in surprise. You want to see them? Tamara said quietly. You'll have to go through me first. Jae-won's eyes raked over her with cold assessment. So this is the nurse, the African woman who spread her legs for my son. Say that again and they'll never find your body. Jae-won laughed. I like her spirit. Shame about everything else. He turned to Young-woo. Is this the best you could do? Your mother would be ashamed. My mother would have loved her, Young-woo said, because unlike you, she recognized strength and kindness when she saw it. Strength? Jae-won's voice dripped contempt. She's nothing. A nobody. Raising half-breed bastards in my son's penthouse, living off money she didn't earn, playing house with a man who violated her. Tell me, nurse, do you wake up every night remembering what he did to you? Do you see his face when you close your eyes? Tamara's hands shook, but her voice stayed steady. I see a lot of things when I close my eyes. And right now, I'm seeing exactly where a young you got his worst qualities. The violence, the need to control, the absolute certainty that power makes you right. You know nothing about me. I know your wife died hating you. I know your son would rather give up everything than become you. And I know that no amount of money or power will ever make you anything but a sad old man who had to fake his death because real power terrified you. The room went silent. Jae-won's face remained impassive, but something dangerous flickered in his eyes. Young-gu looked at Tamara like he'd never seen her before. Interesting, Jae-won finally said. He turned back to Young-gu. You have 24 hours to sign the transfer documents. Return control of Kim Industries to me. Except that I'm taking an active role in my grandchildren's lives. Or I go to the authorities with evidence of your crime. Your choice, son. Your empire or your freedom. Though knowing you, you'll probably choose neither and lose both. Then he walked out, just like that. Left behind the folder of documents and the implicit threat hanging in the air like poison gas. The moment the elevator doors closed, Young-gu sagged against the wall. Tamara, you shouldn't have confronted him. You don't know what he's capable of. Neither do you. Apparently. Tamara's adrenaline was fading, leaving her shaky. Your father has been dead for 7 years. Who is he now? Worse than before. Young-gu's voice was hollow. When he faked his death, he disappeared into the criminal underworld. The real underworld. The kind that makes our family's operation look like children playing. If he's back, it means he's consolidated enough power to feel untouchable. So what do we do? Before Young-gu could answer, Tamara's phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. A photo. Of Tamara and the twins leaving the pediatrician's office that afternoon. Caption, such beautiful children. It would be terrible if something happened to them. The threat was clear. Jae-won had been watching them for a while. Knew their schedules, their routines, their vulnerabilities. We need to leave, Tamara said, showing Young-gu the text. Tonight. Now. And go where? He'll find us anywhere in Korea. Probably anywhere in Asia. Then we go further. They were still arguing when the doorbell rang again. Young-gu checked the camera and cursed. Now what? This time it wasn't Jae-won. It was a woman. Tall, beautiful, expensively dressed. Korean. She smiled at the camera like she owned the world. Who is that? Tamara asked. Young-gu's face went gray. Lee Min-ji. This just got worse. The engagement was supposed to have been broken years ago. An arranged marriage between families, signed when Young-gu was 15 and Min-ji was 13. Young-gu had assumed it died when he went to university. When his father supposedly died. When he started trying to live his own life. Apparently, he'd assumed wrong. Min-ji walked into the penthouse like she belonged there, looked at Tamara with the kind of casual dismissal reserved for servants, and smiled at Young-gu like he was a prize she'd already won. Darling, she said in Korean, then switched to accented English. You haven't been returning my calls. That's very rude considering we're getting married in 3 weeks. Excuse me? Tamara's voice cut like glass. Oh, didn't he tell you? Minji's smile widened. Our father signed a marriage contract 20 years ago. Very binding, very legal. And now that Jae-won is back to enforce it, Young-gu and I will be fulfilling our family obligations. Get out, Young-gu said quietly. I don't think so. Minji pulled out her own documents. Marriage contract, signed and notarized. With recent addendums added by your father confirming everything is still valid. The wedding is scheduled for 3 weeks from today. You'll propose properly tomorrow at the engagement party my family is hosting. And then we'll deal with this unfortunate situation. She gestured vaguely at Tamara in the direction of the nursery. This situation? Tamara stepped forward. You mean my children? They're complications that will be resolved. Minji's mask of politeness cracked slightly. Young-yu made mistakes. Acted out his grief in inappropriate ways. But that's over now. He'll fulfill his obligations to me and my Family. The children can be placed somewhere appropriate, and you will take a very generous settlement and disappear. You're insane, Tamara said flatly. I'm practical. Minji's eyes went hard. You're nothing, nurse. No family, no power, no claims on Youngyu beyond a contract that was clearly signed under duress. I, however, have a legally binding marriage agreement backed by two of the most powerful families in Korea. So you have two choices. Take the money and leave. Or fight me in court and lose everything, including those children. Before we continue, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to K-Mafia Romance Stories for stories that'll wreck you in the best way. After Minji left, Tamara and Youngwoo stood in stunned silence. Two threats in one night. Jae-won wanting the empire and access to the twins. Minji wanting Youngwoo and the twins gone. Both holding legal documents and implied threats. Both absolutely certain they'd win. Tell me, the contract isn't real, Tamara finally said. It's real. Youngwoo sank onto the couch, head in his hands. I just didn't think it mattered anymore. My father was dead. The arrangement was old. I thought I was free, but you're not. Apparently not. Tamara felt something crack inside her chest. So in 3 weeks, you marry her? Take over the family business again? And what happens to us? I don't know. Youngwoo looked up, and Tamara saw real fear in his eyes. I don't know how to fight this. My father has evidence that could put me in prison. Minji has a legal marriage contract. Between them, they have enough power to take everything, including the twins. Then we use the one weapon they don't expect. What weapon? The truth. The truth destroys me, Youngwoo said quietly. Maybe. Tamara sat beside him. Or maybe it sets us free. Your father wants you compliant. Minji wants you controllable. They're both counting on you staying silent about what you did to me. About the real circumstances of the twins' conception. What if we take that power away? By admitting I'm a rapist? By confirming everything they'll use against me? By controlling the narrative? Tamara's mind raced. What if I come forward publicly, tell my story, explain everything? The assault, the pregnancy, the contract we made, the 5 months we've spent trying to build something better. People might judge you. They'll definitely judge you. But they can't blackmail you with information that's already public. You'd do that? Expose yourself to that scrutiny? To protect my children? To keep them from being raised by your father or that woman? Yes. Youngwoo stared at her. I don't deserve you. No, you don't. But that's not the point anymore. The point is protecting Hana and Minho. Everything else is secondary. They spent the next 6 hours planning, contacted lawyers, started drafting statements, prepared for the media storm that would come if they went public. It wasn't a perfect plan. It might not even work. But it was something. Then, at 8 a.m., everything changed again. Youngwoo's phone rang. His head of security, voice tight with urgency. Boss, you need to see this. I'm sending footage now. The video showed Tamara's routine pediatrician appointment from yesterday. Showed her walking to the car with the twins. Showed a black van pulling up, men emerging, security engaging, and then showed Tamara throwing herself over the twins' carrier, fighting like a wildcat to protect her babies. Youngwoo's face went white, watching Tamara take a knife slash across her shoulder, watching her refuse to let the attackers near the twins even as blood ran down her arm, watching reinforcements arrive and the attackers flee. This happened yesterday? Youngwoo's voice shook. You were attacked and you didn't tell me? I handled it. Tamara touched the bandage under her shirt that she'd been hiding. They're safe. That's what matters. You could have died, but I didn't. Youngwoo knelt in front of where she sat, hands shaking, as they touched her face. I can't lose you, any of you. You don't have me to lose, Tamara said automatically. Don't I? Youngwoo's eyes met hers. These 5 months, Tamara, watching you with them, being near you. I thought I could keep my distance. I thought I could let you leave when the 6 months ended. But I can't. I love you. The words hung between them like a confession and a curse. You don't love me, Tamara whispered. You feel guilty. I feel both. Youngwoo's thumb traced her cheekbone. I'm guilty of unforgivable things. But I also love you. I love how you sing to Hana at 3 a.m. I love how you make silly faces to make Minho laugh. I love your strength, your fire, your absolute refusal to let me off easy. I love that you're the best mother these babies could have. And I'm terrified because in 1 month you'll leave and I'll have to let you go because it's what you deserve. Tamara's eyes filled with tears. Don't do this. I have to. Young-woo stood, putting distance between them. Like it physically hurt, because tomorrow my father's going to publicly announce my engagement to Minji. Tomorrow I'm going to have to smile and pretend while you and our children watch. And I needed you to know, before that happens, that it's all lies. The only woman I want is the one I destroyed. Before Tamara could respond, her phone buzzed. Another unknown number, another video file. Her hands shook as she opened it. Security footage from that night. The night everything happened. Clear. Damning. Undeniable evidence of every terrible thing Young-woo had done. The accompanying text said, "Thought you'd want to see what I have. Let's talk. Alone." Or this goes to every news outlet in Korea by sunset. Minji. Tamara showed Young-woo the message. His face went carefully blank. If she has that footage, she can destroy me completely. Not just criminal charges. Civil suits. Public humiliation. Everything. She's blackmailing us. Number. Young-woo's voice was hollow. She's blackmailing you. I'm already guilty. The question is, what you do with that power. What does that mean? It means you have evidence now. Proof of what I did. You could use it. Get justice. Make sure I pay for what I took from you. And let Minji control when and how that evidence gets released. Let her use it to force me to give up my children. Young-woo was quiet for a long moment. What do you want to do? I want to meet her. Tamara's jaw set. Alone. See what she really wants. That's exactly what she's counting on. Good. Let her think she's won. Then we'll see who actually has the power here. That afternoon, Tamara met Minji at an expensive cafe in Gangnam. Minji sat in Chanel, sipping coffee, looking like she'd already won. Tamara sat across from her in simple clothes, a mother of 5-month-old twins running on 3 hours of sleep and pure fury. You look tired, Minji observed. Motherhood doesn't suit you. Cut the pleasantries. What do you want? Simple. Minji slid a contract across the table. You sign. Over custody of the twins to Young-woo. Take 50 million won. Disappear. Young-woo and I get married as planned. Raise the children as ours. Everyone wins. Except my children lose their mother. Please. Minji's voice dripped condescension. They're half-breeds. They'll never truly belong in our world. Better to have 2 proper Korean parents who can give them the legitimacy they'll need. Tamara's fist clenched under the table. Show me the video. Minji smiled and played it on her phone. Tamara forced herself to watch. 30 seconds of the worst night of her life. Clear audio, undeniable evidence. Her own voice saying, no, please, stop. Young-woo not stopping. She looked away, stomach churning. You'll notice the timestamp, Minji said. The audio quality, everything needed for a criminal prosecution. This goes public, Young-woo faces charges. Prison time. His business collapses. The twins grow up knowing their father is a convicted rapist. Is that what you want for them? What do you want? Minji? Really want? Minji's mask cracked. I want Young-woo. I've wanted him since we were children. He's mine by contract, by family arrangement, by everything that matters in our world. You're just an obstacle, a mistake he made in a moment of grief. You're nothing. If I'm nothing, why are you so threatened? I'm not threatened. I'm annoyed. Minji leaned forward. You're a complication that needs to be resolved. So here's what's going to happen. You sign those papers, take the money, disappear. And I'll make sure this video never sees daylight. Young-woo gets immunity, the twins get a proper family, and you get to walk away with your dignity intact. And if I refuse, then I release the video. Young-woo goes to prison. I use my family's connections to get custody of the twins through the courts. And you lose everything anyway. But at least this way, you get paid. Tamara stood. You know what I think? I think you're terrified. Because in 5 months, Young-woo has never looked at you the way he looks at me. Has never fought for you the way he fights for us. And you know that no contract, no family arrangement, no amount of money can make him love you. Minji's face twisted with rage. Then you'll both suffer. I'll destroy him. Take those children, and make sure you never see them again. Try it. Tamara leaned down, voice deadly quiet. See what happens when you threaten a mother's children. Because I've survived worse than you, and I'm done being afraid. She walked out before Minji could respond, got in her car with shaking hands and drove back to the penthouse. Found Young-woo in the nursery with both twins, singing them a lullaby in Korean that his mother used to sing to him. He looked up when Tamara entered. How did it go? She has the evidence. She's willing to bury it if I sign over custody and disappear. And? Tamara moved to where Hana was reaching for her, picked up her daughter. I told her to try taking my children and see what happens. Young-woo's expression shifted to something like wonder. You're choosing to fight. I'm choosing them. Tamara looked at both twins, then at Young-woo. Whatever comes next, we face it together. For them. That night, Jae-won made his next move. Showed up with lawyers, guards, and formal documents demanding immediate transfer of all business assets. You have 12 hours, he told Young-woo. Sign everything back to me, or I go to the prosecutors with evidence of your crime. I'll have you arrested. I'll take custody of those children, and I'll make sure the African woman never sees them again. Young-woo looked at his father with something like pity. You want to know why mother died hating you? This. Your constant need to control, to dominate, to destroy anything you can't own. Your mother was weak. My mother was the only good thing in your miserable life. And you broke her. Jae-won's eyes went cold. 12 hours. Decide what matters more. Your pride, or those bastard children's future? After he left, Tamara found Young-woo standing in the nursery, watching their sleeping twins. We can't win this, he said quietly. Between my father and Minji, they have too much power. Then we changed the game. How? The next morning brought chaos. Uncle Tae-young had been released from custody. Jae-won's lawyers had worked their magic, got the charges dropped on technicalities. Now both Jae-won and Tae-young were free, working together, circling like sharks. And Minji had leaked carefully selected photos to the media. Young-woo with Tamara and the twins. No context, just implications. The headlines speculated about the Mafia boss's secret family. His mysterious African partner. Possible assault allegations. Public opinion started turning before they could control the narrative. Young-woo's phone wouldn't stop ringing. Business partners panicking. Board members demanding explanations. Investors threatening to pull out. The empire he'd been trying to legitimize was collapsing in real time. That afternoon, Tamara took the twins to their pediatrician appointment, full security detail, every precaution, but she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Walking to the car afterward, she saw it. Black van. Parked wrong. Instinct screamed danger. Get the twins in the car, she told the guard. Now. Then everything happened at once. Men in black rushing from the van, security engaging, gunfire. Tamara throwing herself over the twins' carrier. Her body the only shield between her babies and danger. Someone grabbed her arm. She fought like a wildcat, nails raking skin, knee connecting with groin. No conscious thought, just animal instinct to protect her young. Hands reached for the twins. She screamed, kicked, bit, felt a knife slash across her already injured shoulder. Didn't care. All that mattered was keeping those hands away from Hana and Minho. Reinforcements arrived, more gunfire. The attackers retreated, but the message was clear. They could get to the twins anytime they wanted. Young-woo arrived at the hospital, looking destroyed. Found Tamara getting fresh stitches, twins sleeping peacefully beside her, completely unaware how close they'd come to being taken. You're hurt, he said, voice breaking. I'm fine. They're fine. You could have died protecting them. And I'd do it again. Tamara met his eyes. They're my babies, Young-woo. I'd die before I let anyone take them. Young-woo knelt beside her chair, forehead pressing against her uninjured shoulder. I can't keep you safe. I can't protect any of you. Everything I touch turns to destruction. Then maybe it's time to stop running from what you are and start using it. What does that mean? It means your father expects you to surrender. Minji expects you to comply. They both think they know how this ends. So we give them something they don't expect. The next 24 hours were a calculated risk. Young-woo called a meeting. Jae-won, Tae-young, and Minji all arrived at his office expecting victory. I'm signing the business back to you, Young-woo told his father. I'm formally ending things with Minji. And I'm signing full custody of the twins to Tamara with no visitation rights for myself. All three of them froze in shock. You wanted different things, Young-woo continued calmly. Father, you wanted the empire. It's yours. Uncle, you wanted me broken. Mission accomplished. Minji, you wanted me without complications. You can have me, but you don't get the twins. You don't get Tamara. That's non-negotiable. Jae-won's eyes narrowed. What's your game? No game. Young-woo slid documents across the table. Everything you wanted. Sign it. Leave my family alone. You're giving up everything? Tae-young laughed. For what? For what actually matters. This is a trick, Minji said. It's not. Young-woo stood. I'm choosing them. Over power, over money, over everything. Take it all. Just leave them alone. Jae-won studied the documents, then smiled coldly. Fine. But the moment you step out of line, the moment you try to take any of this back, I'll destroy you. And that woman. And those half-breed babies? Young-woo's fist connected with his father's face before anyone could react. Jae-won went down hard, blood streaming from his nose. Call them that again and I'll kill you, Young-woo said quietly. I don't care if you're my father. Touch them, threaten them, even say their names wrong, and I will end you. Security rushed in. Chaos erupted. But Young-woo had already walked out, leaving his father bleeding and his empire behind. He drove straight to the penthouse. Found Tamara with the twins. I gave it all up, he said. The business, the power, everything. Tamara stared. Why? Because I finally understand what my mother tried to teach me. Young-woo moved to the twins, touching each small hand. None of that matters. Not compared to this. Not compared to you three. You're an idiot. I know. Best decision I ever made. What happens now? Now, we use what my mother left us. Tamara's phone had rung that morning, Mrs. Kim's lawyer, with information that changed everything. Mrs. Kim had known Jae-won was alive, had spent her final months preparing for his return, had collected evidence of every crime he'd committed over 40 years. And she'd left it all to Tamara, with instructions to use it when the time came. More than that, she'd had the marriage contract between Young-woo and Minji legally dissolved 2 years before she died. It was invalid. Minji's family had known but kept it secret, counting on Young-woo never checking. Your mother knew, Tamara told Young-woo. She knew everything. And she still tried to save you. They sent Mrs. Kim's evidence to the authorities. Every news outlet, every prosecutor who'd been too afraid to go after the Kim family. Within hours, Jae-won was arrested. Tae-young too. The entire criminal empire collapsed under the weight of decades of evidence. Minji fled the country rather than face her own legal troubles. It was over. 3 days later, Tamara and Young-woo stood in the empty penthouse, packing for the move to Mrs. Kim's safe house, a modest home on the coast. No servants, no empire, just them and the twins and a future they'd have to build from nothing. Are you scared? Tamara asked. Terrified, Young-woo admitted. I've never lived without money or power. I don't know how to do this. We'll figure it out, together. Young-woo smiled. I like that word. Don't get used to it. You're still on probation. They were loading the last boxes when Tamara felt it. Sharp, stabbing pain in her abdomen. She gasped, doubled over. Young-woo was beside her instantly. What's wrong? The baby. Something's wrong. Tamara had been so focused on protecting the twins, on fighting Jae-won and Minji, that she'd ignored her own body's warnings. The stress, the physical trauma, the knife wound reopening during the attack. Now the pregnancy she'd barely had time to process was threatening to end. Blood, panic. Young-woo calling ambulance while gathering twins. Tamara collapsing, terrified she was losing another child before she'd even had time to accept it existed. The ambulance ride was a blur. Doctors rushing, monitors beeping, pain tearing through her. She's hemorrhaging, someone said. We need surgery. The baby? We'll do everything we can. They wheeled her away. Young-woo stood helpless, holding both twins, watching Tamara disappear behind surgical doors. Hours passed. Young-woo paced with Hana and Minho, trying to keep them calm while his world fell apart. He'd given up everything for this family. And now, he might lose Tamara anyway. Finally, a doctor emerged. Your wife is stable. We stopped the hemorrhaging. And the baby? Also stable. But she needs complete bed rest for the next 6 months. Any more stress could be fatal. Young-woo's legs nearly gave out with relief. Can I see her? They let him into recovery. Tamara lay pale against white sheets, exhausted but alive. Hey, she whispered. Hey. Young-woo sat carefully, still holding the twins. You scared me. Sorry. Tamara's hand found his. The baby? Stubborn. Like you. Young-woo's voice cracked. The doctor says bed rest for 6 months. That's going to be interesting with 2 5-month-olds. I'll handle them. You just focus on staying alive. Deal. They moved to the safe house a week later. Young-woo proved surprisingly good at normal life. Cooked, cleaned, changed diapers. Woke for 3 a.m. feedings. Became the father and partner Tamara had never expected. But he never stopped asking permission. For everything. Never stopped making sure Tamara felt in control. Never stopped trying to make up for what he'd taken. Months passed. Tamara's pregnancy progressed carefully. The twins grew. They built something that almost looked like a real family. One evening, Tamara was putting the twins to bed when her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Tamara, a voice said. Minji, before you hang up, you should know I'm standing outside your house. And I'm not alone. Tamara ran to the window. 3 black cars. Minji standing beside one, smiling. You thought you won. Minji's voice came through the phone. You thought destroying Jae-won meant safety. But you forgot something. My family's power is separate, untouchable. And we don't forgive humiliation. What do you want? Same thing I always wanted. Young-woo, the twins, the life you stole. But since you won't cooperate, I'm taking a different approach. Get away from my house. It's not your house. It's Mrs. Kim's house. And her lawyer? Works for my family now. Everything she left you? We have copies. We know everything. Your bank accounts are frozen. The trust fund, gone. You have nothing. You're lying. Check. Minji's voice turned cold. And then walk outside with those twins. Get in my car. Or I take them by force. You have 60 seconds. Young-woo grabbed the phone. Minji, if you touch my family, I will end you. With what? You're nobody now. You have 20 seconds. The window exploded, not from a bullet, from a controlled charge. Professional, precise, designed to disorient. Then, the front door burst open. Men in tactical gear. Not Minji's men, someone else's. Young-woo threw himself over Tamara, then protecting her and their unborn child. The twins screamed in their cribs. Gunfire erupted outside. Minji's men engaging with the new arrivals. Chaos. Smoke. Young-woo pulling Tamara toward the twins' room while their home became a war zone. Then sudden silence. Young-woo carefully looked outside. Minji's cars were destroyed. Her men were down. And walking through the smoke, gun in hand, was a man Young-woo hadn't seen in 15 years. His older brother, Kim Jae-hyun, who'd supposedly died in a car accident when Young-woo was 17. Who'd been declared dead and buried. who their mother had mourned until her own death, standing in their driveway, very much alive. Jae-hyun lowered his weapon and smiled at his younger brother. Hello, Young-woo. Miss me? Drop a comment telling me what you thought of this episode. And don't forget to subscribe to K-Mafia romance stories for more tales that'll keep you hooked. If you're ready for episode 3 and want to find out who Jae-hyun really is, why he faked his death, and what his return means for Tamara and Young-woo's future, type episode 3 in the comments right now. See you in the next one.